What's going on, Internet? Iron Jordan here. So, keeping in the trend of the week, as it is Digimon release week, we are going through yet another deck list. This time, you might be looking at the screen and going, "Yo, is that yellow?" But didn't they not get Shinegreymon? Isn't yellow bad in set 1.0? And at first, you know what? You would be forgiven for thinking that, honestly. But I decided, you know what? We're going to try to play yellow anyway. And so I have been working on multiple yellow lists to try to make something work. And I think I found something in set 1.0 that's actually sneaky really good. Like sneakily really good. This is yellow tempo. This is what essentially would be a mono yellow version of not quite Rookie Rush. It goes a little bit taller than Rookie Rush, but similar in playstyle while maintaining hand advantage. Now, let's just jump right into the deck and you'll see what I mean. First, we're playing 4 Digitama. The game is not going to go late enough for you to rock 5 Digitama. We have 16 rookies, which is about average for, most, tempo-y decks in this game. Actually, I would say 16 is about average for most decks because you want to make sure that you see your rookies on turn 1. But you'll notice that we are playing nothing but vanillas in the rookie slot. Now, this is mostly because yellow did not get a lot of good rookies in the rookie slot, you know? There's one guy that draws a card when he attacks if you have 4 or less cards in hand, but we never get that low. I had him in the main deck at some point, but we never really get that low. So we're rocking 8 2-cost rookies, Salamon and Sukamon. We are maxed out on both of those guys. This is to starve the opponent out as you play your 2 drops. So these are the guys that you want to hardcast. We have 4 Tapermon just because he is a 4K, so his chances of living against the stack are much better than any of the other ones. He's the one that you want to evolve onto in the raising area because it's cheaper. And then we have Tinkerbond, and Tinkerbond exists strictly because we have Petermon in this deck. Now, Petermon is an incredibly slept on card, in my opinion. Petermon is insane. This is a 5-cost card that goes and gets a Tinkermon from your hand or your recycle bin and plays it. Your trash, whatever. It was called trash, but then they changed it to recycle bin for the TCG, I guess, but whatever. Petermon is an insane card. And the amount of tempo that you can generate from just swinging in a Tinkermon, having it die, and going, all right, cool, here's Petermon, your go. And if you were sitting on 3 memory, your opponent now goes into their turn with 2 memory, and you put 2 bodies on the board for 5 memory. That's, pretty good value. Going wide is the idea here. Next, we have Darkmon, which is she's our gamble that we hope to pay off. This deck is actually very good against other low to the ground decks. It's good against Rookie Rush. It's amazing against purple. I've not lost a game against purple at all with this deck. Um, you have her out. You swing with her. You hope she lives against the stack because they're playing a small deck as well. And then you drop a Petermon who goes against a Tinkermon. It's played, and now since she's in rest mode, you draw a card. It's just really good value. You play 2 Unimon just because you have to have blockers in this format, but we don't want to have blockers, but we do. We have 4 Angemon. He is here simply to combo with Angemon from the starter deck. These are 2 starter deck cards. So the idea is if your opponent starts to try to race you, if they start to try to get your life down, you do have a bunch of level 4s that you can lean on that you can go, okay, cool, it's going into my turn. They're trying to race me now. I'll evolve into the Angemon. If I have a TK out, I'm doing pretty good for energy. So I go from memory, not energy. Gotta stop doing that. It's really sweet, guys. I'll get used to it. If you have 3 memory with TK, you evolve onto the 5 for 3 memory. Go onto the Angelomon. You go back up to 4 memory, and now you have the inheritable of the Angemon underneath the Angelomon, and then you swing and you gain a memory back. So now you have more stuff to work with, or you can starve your opponent out more effectively. You then play a 2-cost vanilla. It goes their turn. They have 1 memory. Super good. As I mentioned before, Angel Woman herself is just for that. It's just for out tempoing your opponent. I've really learned that in this game, in most matchups, your deck revolves around getting your tame route and playing around that 3-cost evolve cost. You know, there are other ways that you do other things where you have to give your opponent, you have to give your opponent memory sometimes. You have to give them a lot of memory sometimes. And as you can see, we have Magna Angemon just for that. But for the most part, the game revolves around how little memory can you give your opponent, and and what can you do with that. And so evolving, digivolving for 3 or less is the sweet spot when it comes to playing memory cards. So then we have for Cyramon. This is just to have a cheaper evolve target. This is just so that, let's say, for example, we have 3 memory off of the TK and we have a 4 out. We can go to the 5. We can swing with it if we want to kill something on our opponent's board, and then we can go into slash Angemon. They go into their turn with 2 memory now, and we killed something else with the slash Angemon. I'm sorry, yeah, with the slash Angemon Digivolve. So that's why Cyramon's in the deck. We typically are not trying to attack with it, but it's there. We have 2 Magna Angemon. This is just so that when our opponent gives us like a ton of memory, we can respond with, hey, a big splashy play that just gives us life and then puts a 5-drop on board. I've responded to Piedmon with this. Opponent gives me like 10 memory with the Piedmon. I go, cool, Magna Angemon. I have another life. Now your combat math is messed up, and I can still do other things. I'll evolve into a slash Angemon, and I'll kill one of your other guys. Now you have 2. Now you needed 2 more attacks on your next turn, giving me lethal in the process, giving myself lethal on my next turn. It messes up their entire turn strategy. So that's incredibly good card. Obviously, slash Angemon, I've already mentioned him a couple times. He's just the best level 6 in yellow right now, and he's probably one of the best level 6s in the game. He's incredibly good. Then we have 2 Seraphimon. Seraphimon sits in that same area as Angelmon does, where he is a very tempo-y play. When you think about life gain, you don't really think about tempo, but in this game it could be so good because if your opponent is going, okay, cool, I have lethal now, and then you gain a life back, you go, no, you don't. In fact, now if you don't fix my board, I have lethal on you next turn. Especially since Seraphimon, coming down, again, if you're in that level, if you're in that memory 3 slot with TK and you have a 5 out and you go into Seraphimon, you're doing excellent because now he's going to get to swing with security attack +1 to whatever, because he gets +1 security attack for every 2 security that you have. And then obviously rounding out the deck, we got 4 TK. This is the best tamer in the game in my opinion. Just being able to look at your life and go, okay, cool, what do I have? What do I need in my hand? It gives you 5 extra cards to pick from, or more, or less later in the game. But it gives you extra cards to choose from when you're looking at your hand. So do you need a rookie? Cool. Do you need a champion? Cool. Do you need a slash Angemon from your life? Cool. Do you need to gain life? Cool. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I just think TK is insane, and on top of that, he has the same. I just don't think that all these 4-cost tamers are created equally. When you compare this guy with the black tie or the red tie, like, the red tie is cool. He gives security attack +1 if you can stack a big red card. But no, like, that compared to this, like, they just really are not the same. And Matt's the same way. The purple Matt seems really good, but this card's actually good in the early. This card is good whenever you play it, unless it's the final card that you hit off your life. And now you have no life. Like, this card's good basically whenever you play it. Whereas, like, you play Matt on turn 1, it feels real bad because you don't get anything back. You're just casting the Tamer as an enchantment, essentially. So this is the deck. There are no option cards in the deck right now, and there are a couple reasons for that. I tested probably 3 different option cards. I tested Seventh Heaven. I tested the Holy Flame. Actually, we'll just look at them. Here, because we tested quite a few of these things, and they just felt really bad. By the way, guys, this is DigimonCard.dev, so if you don't know what this is a deck building site for the Digimon card game. Oh yeah, we tested Blade of the True, and this was my favorite of them because it drew us a lot of cards. But then I found that I was just drawing too many cards, and it didn't really do anything. I would much rather have a Digimon or a TK in that slot. So this card was fine. Holy Flame, this was good in spots. This had saved me, I think, 1 game, but for the most part, this card was just bad. And then Seventh Heavens was fine, but it doesn't do. It's not Gaia Force. It's not Trump Sword. It's not Cocula's Breath. It just doesn't get rid of the problem as well. Like, if Omnimon swings into a Trump Sword, he dies. If Omnimon swings into a 7th Heaven, he goes, okay, cool. I'm an 8K this turn. Or I'm sorry, I'm a 5K this turn. So Didn't love any of the option cards, and the second reason why we're not playing any option cards is simply because this deck is fast enough that it doesn't want to, honestly. They just feel cloggy if you draw them. You'd much rather have the Digimon options. And so it really frees up the deck space, though, like for tech Digimon cards. And that's really nice. Like 16 rookies, excellent. We're playing 14 champions, excellent. Consistency. We are playing 10, what are these called? Ultimates, level 5s, great. And then we've got 6 megas. And it doesn't feel like we're ever clogging our hand up any. Whereas, like, when I play my red deck that's got 6 megas and 4 Gaia Force, 4 tie, I go, wow, this is a little cloggy sometimes, you know? So, that's another reason. I think that as a tempo deck, you really don't want to have those anyway. The only card that you could play in a tempo deck and feel good about it is probably Hammer Spark, but we're not in blue, so unless it's hit off our life, we're not getting the effect. All right, guys. So this is the yellow list. Like I said, it's been extremely good in I actually have not lost a game with this in testing. I have done a little bit of confessional time. It's Sunday, November the 29th, and I have spent probably 17 of the last 40 hours at my local game store teaching people how to play Digimon, teaching people how to build decks, play testing with my buddies. Uh, and this deck has been the most impressive to me. This one has been the most impressive. This one I built on Friday night, and I took it Saturday. Got probably 20 games in with this deck, and it was just solid every single time. I always felt like I was in control. I always felt like it didn't matter if they board wiped me, because like one of the problems that Ricky Rush has is if they drop the Dark Hole card, the it's a big red card that blows up everything that's 3K or less. That doesn't hit everything on our board anyway, because we're not playing only rookies, we are playing champions. And B, even if it does hit our entire board, you just rebuild because the hand size is so large. Whew. Recording this early in the morning, guys. I'm so sorry for the yawning. I'm so sorry. But this deck actually recovers from getting board wiped incredibly efficiently. It doesn't get outraced by other tempo decks and other aggro decks. It just straight up doesn't. Like, even Megazoo, like, you play this against Megazoo, and I bet this deck is just solid. I haven't played, that's one of the decks I have not played this yet, but I've played against Ricky Rush, I've played against Purple, I've played against Green, I've played against Omnimon Turbo with this deck, and it has been incredible against all of those decks. And I honestly feel like it's much better than people give it credit for. So go ahead and give this a shot. Obviously, with all things, take it with a grain of salt. Do your own testing. But in my opinion, this deck is insane, and I will continue to play it and master it and perfect it. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, leave me a like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more Digimon videos. I know this is like 3 videos in a row in 3 days. It's crazy. How does a man with a full-time job do this? It's because it's Thanksgiving break, guys, and I'm excited about Digimon. This level of consistency will never be seen again, but enjoy it while it lasts, because I really like this game, and I'll be making a lot of content for it in the future. So let me know what you guys want to see. If there's any particular deck profile that you want to see. I know somebody asked about a Ricky Rush deck in the comments. I'm not super keen on Ricky Rush. I actually like this deck like way better. But if you guys want to see that, I can totally throw one together and test it and make sure it works, and then show it off. If you guys want, that would be like a budget deck series. So, all right, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.